The Kansas City Stars were back in action after a longer than expected holiday break, a tough weekend at Northwest Arkansas. I'll take a quick look ahead at this weekend's Big Bear Crossroads tournament and my conversation with Stars defensemen Brody Hicks and Ryan Marian on this episode of the Kansas City Stars High School Hockey Podcast. And welcome to the Kansas City Stars High School Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Rob Plamondon. Thank you for watching. As always, a few reminders. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Turn on notifications and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, if you're not following us on social media, links to X, Facebook, and Instagram will be put in the description below. Follow the Stars on social media. Well, the Stars got back in action last weekend, finally, after the games against Midwell were canceled or postponed, not sure which yet, because of the blizzard. The Stars traveled down to Springdale, Arkansas, to take on the Northwest Arkansas Ice Hogs, and a rough weekend for the Stars as they fall 6-0 on Saturday and 5-2 on Sunday. And I think there was maybe a little bit of rust. Northwest Arkansas did have the advantage of playing a game last weekend. But the Stars look a little out of sorts in this game. I thought they did skate pretty well. They actually outshot Northwest Arkansas in Saturday's game by a margin of 27-26, a pretty close there. But it's not always about the number of shots on goal. It's about what you do with the shots on goal and the quality of those shots. And Ben McMaster played extremely well in goal for the Ice Hogs in both games. Stars just not able to get anything past him. Stars got a little bit of penalty trouble early in that first game. They did kill off the first penalty, but second penalty, Northwest Arkansas scored right off the face-off. It was Keener getting his 13th goal of the year from Huang. Stars had a few chances the rest of that first period. Again, a pretty close first period. I thought both teams, again, despite what looked like some rust, Stars skated pretty well. They had a few chances, a power play. Late in the period, unfortunately in that one, it looked like the Ice Hogs controlled more of the play than the Stars. Late in the final seconds, Northwest Arkansas nearly scored. The puck got behind Gavin Napier, and I'm not sure who cleared it away, but it looked like it was trickling into the net, and the Stars were able to clear it away just before it went across the goal line. Second period, I thought the Stars skated really well in the first half of that period. I thought they had several scoring chances, controlled the puck until about with 8:19 to go in the second period. It was, who was it? Huang getting the goal, his second. I think Huang got the first goal. Sorry about that. Or Keener got the first goal. Huang gets the second goal, or his second of the year from Pittman. Moments later, on a shot by Ewan Schroeder, I thought a shot that I'm sure Napier would like to have back. That was his second goal of the year. And just right after that, William Sullivan picked up his 17th goal. That made it 4-0. And 3 goals in a minute 5, and that pretty much was the game right there. From there, the Stars playing from behind, trying to catch up. Actually had a power play midway through the second period in which they unfortunately gave up a shorthanded goal to Max Saunders. That made it 5-0 for Saunders, his 22nd of the year. And then third period with the running clock, Northwest Arkansas was pretty content just to run the clock out. Stars had a few chances, but again, not able to get it past Ben McMaster. Chance Freed scored a goal late in the game. That made it 6-0, his 9th of the goal of the year, and that was the final score. Again, it was those 3 goals, a minute 5, midway through the second period, that really turned the game around and kind of put it out of reach. It looked like the Stars were able to skate pretty well after that. They just got in catch-up mode, and Northwest Arkansas just did a good job of keeping the play away and running out the clock. It didn't seem like it was a very physical game. Thinking back to the games these teams played back in November, which I thought were extremely physical. The Stars put a lot of bodies on them. That didn't happen in this game. Just too many turnovers, both in the offensive zone, but also in the defensive zone. And the transition in the shorter rink, the offense to defensive transition is much quicker. And as a defensive player, you need to get back. You need to keep the play in front of them. And Northwest Arkansas was able to convert some odd man rushes and transition the puck extremely well. Moving on to Sunday's game, Northwest Arkansas came out and scored early in this game. Just a minute 10 into the game, William Sullivan, his 18th of the year, his first of 2 goals in this game. It was a turnover in front of the net that led to this goal. Number of goalpost shots in this first period as well. But the Stars do finally get on the board. It was Justin Schutzler with his 3rd of the year, assisted by Luke Gressel. Schutzler got the puck behind the net in a wraparound, what appeared to be a wraparound. Beat McMaster, and the Stars were finally on the board. Finally tying the game there. Stars had a couple of chances, but not able to convert. Northwest Arkansas had a power play late in that period. Stars did a good job of killing the penalty off there and limiting the odd man rushes. I think they might have had a 2-on-1, but other than that, the Stars did a good job defensively. Second period, again, an early goal, a minute 9 into the period. Chance Freed picks up his 10th goal. That made it 2-1. Stars had a couple of power play opportunities. Unfortunately, not putting a lot of pressure on the power play. But I thought, for the most part, it was a bit of a sluggish period, but the Stars were still in the game. They did end up tying the game on the power play. Luke Gressel getting his 14th goal of the year, assisted by Truett Spiker. That made the score 2-2 late in the second period. But Northwest Arkansas gets a goal in the final minute of the period. It was Sullivan getting his 2nd of the game, his 19th of the year. Looked like a shot that hit the inside of the post and deflected in. So Stars, hoping to get out of the period with a tie, unfortunately go to the intermission down 3-2. And then a couple of early goals. It was Keener getting his 3rd of the year. Again, in the first couple minutes of the period, that made it 4-2. And then Saunders getting his 23rd at 9:48 with 9:48 to play in the game. And at that point, I think the wind just kind of out of the sails for the Stars. Trying to play from behind. Napier made a couple of good saves, but the Stars just not able to put enough pressure on McMaster. And at that point, Northwest Arkansas was just content to run the clock out. Shots on goal in that game still pretty even. Northwest Arkansas with 30, the Stars with 26. So from that standpoint, the Stars did a pretty good job. But again, it's about the quality of the shots and the scoring chances more so than the shots. But I do think the Stars did a pretty good job of getting the puck to the net. Just unfortunately not able to get it past McMaster. This game, again, not as physical as I thought it could be. And certainly not as physical as the games earlier this year. Some careless play with the puck in the defensive zone that led to some scoring opportunities, as well as some goals by the Ice Hogs. And the Ice Hogs, a team that are very, very top heavy. Their first 5 or 6 players do most of the scoring, and that was the case here. I think maybe a couple other players might have scored a goal or two, but most of the scoring by their top 5 or 6 players. And to beat this team, you really got to slow down those top 5 or 6 players, and the Stars just not able to do so last weekend. And Northwest Arkansas, a very, very good team. They currently sit, I think, a point or two, or maybe 3 points behind Wichita. And But again, it's a team the Stars have beaten, and a team the Stars can beat if they have an opportunity to play them in the playoffs. So look forward to that if it does happen. But this last weekend, it was the Northwest Arkansas Ice Hogs getting the better of the Stars by scores of 6-0 and 5-2. The JV teams were also in action last weekend. JV 1 taking on the Kansas City Knights JV 2 and a pair of ties, 2-2 tie on Saturday, a 4-4 tie on Sunday. JV2 was down at Northwest Arkansas with the varsity team. Saturday losing to the Ice Hogs 3-1, but gaining a 1-1 tie on Sunday. And JV3 picks up a couple of wins over the Saints by scores of 3-1 and 6-2. Up next, a quick preview of next weekend's Big Bear Crossroads tournament on the Kansas City Stars High School Hockey Podcast. This weekend, the Stars will travel up to the Chicago area to play in the Big Bear Crossroads tournament. Good opportunity for the Stars to face some other teams that you typically wouldn't play. Generally, some good competition. Stars played in this tournament last year. Did pretty well. Won 2 games, lost 1, and tied 1. Ended up winning the third-place consolation game against the team from Oswego, a team that had beaten them earlier in the tournament. Pretty exciting game as the Stars overcame a 4-1 third-period deficit and won it in overtime by a score of 5-4. Scheduled for this weekend's game, Friday evening at 8:30, they will take on the Lamont Lockport Spartans. Saturday morning, 9:40 a.m. against the Chicago Horned Frogs. And Saturday afternoon, 2:50 p.m. against the Miles McDonald Buckeyes. Spartans and Buckeyes, a lot of Big Ten stuff in there. Fortunately, it will not conflict with the, it may conflict early with the Chiefs game. I think the Chiefs start at 3:30, but shouldn't cut into the game too much. But if you're not able to make the trip or not planning to be in the Chicago area, you can catch the games on the Kansas City Stars YouTube channel. There will be a game on Sunday, depending on how the Stars do. Game time and opponent will be determined based on that. So check the schedule after the first 3 games are done for game time on Sunday. Again, all games will be brought to you live on the Kansas City Stars YouTube channel. Up next, my conversation with Stars defensemen Brody Hicks and Ryan Marian on the Kansas City Stars High School Hockey Podcast. And I'm now joined by Stars defensemen Brody Hicks and Ryan Marian. Gentlemen, thanks and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, great. So first of all, how were your holidays?
Not bad, actually.
Yeah, pretty good.
Spent lots of time with the family. Nice.
Nice and long.
Yeah. So you had a bit of a longer than extended break with the blizzard. You finally got back into action down in our Northwest Arkansas against the Ice Hogs. A tough couple of games, unfortunately. But how did the long break? Did it have any impact on you? Any rust? What were your thoughts on those games?
I'd say it made us kind of like slower on our feet because like it showed in the games. Like we weren't in the right mindset to play fast and hard. But
yeah, I think after that first game on Saturday, you kind of realized like jump back into the feel and stuff. But it definitely did impact the team not having practice for such a long period of time. It's felt weird too.
Yeah, I kind of picked that up as well. And how was it on the shorter rink? The play kind of moved from one end to the other a little bit quicker.
It's not a lot of neutral zone time to think. It's just go.
Yeah.
So as defensemen, you've got to kind of react much more quickly than you would on a. Yeah. Did that have any miss in the mid-mode games? I think they had maybe an advantage having played a game. And then just prior to the holidays, I didn't get a chance to talk to anyone about the games against the Knights. That was a pretty physical weekend. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? At least you got one win. Would have been nice to get 2, but they're a tough team.
Splitting the weekend was kind of rough because we won the first, right? But then we lost the second, so it's kind of
hard. They're definitely a very physical team. I wasn't expecting them to be that physical. So they have like a good plan set. Like somebody's on the body, and then the next dude's just running to the puck. So hard to play against.
Yeah, no question. So this weekend, heading up to Chicago for the tournament. I know, Brody, you were there last year. Ryan, did you make the trip last year?
I did not.
You did not? Okay. So it's the Crossroads tournament. The team was up there last year. I remember last year was really, really cold. But what are your thoughts on playing some different teams, some new competition, and do you know anything about these teams?
I know the first team we're playing, the Lockhart Spartans. Mm-hmm. They're like their bottom level team, or like what would be closest to our level. But the other two teams, they're the higher up guys, who have the higher scores. So it should be a challenge, which should be nice.
I just have no information at all about these teams. I'm just going in blind, but I'm excited to play some new teams and get up there and see what it's like.
Yeah, well, definitely have some fun up there. It's a great time. I know there was a lot of fun last year, and I think you'll have you'll get to see some different competition. I think you'll have a great time. Well, still a lot of hockey left this year. You have some games coming up after the tournament. I think you've got Wichita and Oklahoma City coming up. What are the keys to finishing strong and setting yourself up to make a good run into the playoffs?
Probably staying mentally in condition, like physically. Like, don't sit on your butt. Just make sure you're doing something with those weights.
Yeah, we have a lot to work on, but just get to work and keep grinding every week and just going out to practice every day and getting better and going to games and focus on getting better every day. Yeah.
So I like to ask the defenseman this question. When I played, I was always a forward, so I don't really know the perspective as well. But what goes through your mind as you're transitioning from offense back to defense? You see the guys coming at you. What's kind of going through your mind as you're making that transition and getting back?
Yeah. I'm trying to think either am I going to step up to somebody coming back, or just it's a lot of stuff you got to think.
Process.
Yeah, you got to depend on your team a lot because there's a lot of different situations where stuff can go wrong if I step up too early or somebody else steps up and I step up together, and then he gets right past both of us.
So much you can only do, like you said, Brody. If you pinch, you got to make sure the forward comes back and supports. But it's a
lot to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of personal questions just for a little bit of fun here. First of all, what's your best memory or maybe a fun moment you can think of from your career as playing as a hockey player?
Ooh, probably like my Pee-wee year when I was facing some team up in St. Louis, and I was going up on a breakaway, and a kid trips in front of me. I have to jump over the guy to go into the net, like doing hurdles. It was pretty fun.
Did you score?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Never again.
Never again.
My best memories is definitely traveling. I think that's the best part, going to different places, seeing the different rinks and playing the different teams, but just being with your teammates and more specifically, I like getting into little scrums with my teammates too. That's the best part when they got your back, and I just think that's the best part.
Definitely. What about you have a favorite NHL team, a favorite player?
I like the St. Louis Blues.
I'm also a Blues fan. I've been a Blues fan all my life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And my favorite player is Vladimir Tarasenko. That's why my number is 91.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that. Very good.
I like Cale McCarr.
Yeah.
He plays for the Habs, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good defenseman.
And any plans, whether you have them or not, as far as what you're going to do after high school, and do you hope to keep playing hockey?
I would love to keep playing hockey after high school, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still decided, but I want to go to college for construction management after high school.
Fantastic.
I'd definitely like to play after high school, but it depends if I want to go to college, if they have a degree that I want or not.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thanks a lot for joining. It was always a lot of fun talking to the players. Good luck this week and have fun in Chicago, and hopefully we'll see you soon on another episode here, and we'll certainly see you out on the rink.
Yep. All right. Thanks
for
having us.
Guys, thanks a lot. Well, that'll do it for another episode of the Kansas City Stars High School Hockey Podcast. Just a reminder, if you're not able to make it up to the Chicago area this weekend, you can catch all the games on the Kansas City Stars YouTube channel. Also, still trying to get information on when or if the games against the Mid-Missouri Tigers will be rescheduled. So as soon as I have any information, I will pass it along. Also, a quick thanks to Brody, Hicks, and Ryan Marian for joining me on our weekly interview segment with the Stars players. Thanks again for watching. We hope to see you soon on another episode of the Kansas City Stars High School Hockey Podcast.